I want to get your thoughts on Moto Media and what we could do better, what we're doing well.
Next question.
Fair?
It's a good question because I think every media outlet has...
JB just said it was lame.
Who did?
JB.
It depends. When you're doing good, everything's great, right? When you're not, it could be dangerous. No, I think there's always so many talking points, and a lot of it's just speculations. And for a racer, it's tough to hear sometimes, just because we're their first person, under the helmet, and I think when things get analyzed and stuff, sometimes it can take a wrong turn from what was actually going on. But honestly, it's just a tough one to answer because media is good and it's needed. So something to do better. It'd be hard for me to pinpoint just one thing right now. You know what I mean? I think like I said, every outlet is different, and but I think in the end, media is necessary. So
I think what you're doing well is majority of you guys respect us as riders and know when to ask and maybe when to not. I think like anything, there can always be a little bit, better, I wouldn't say necessarily questions, but maybe some unique ones sometimes, like I've seen you've been doing, Dark Side. I appreciate that.
Trying.
So, like anything, I think when you have to answer the same question every weekend, it gets a little redundant. So it's
What
nice
did you
to
change
switch
on your
it up.
bike this week?
Not a damn thing.
I do feel like there's a lot of, I guess you have to ask the generic questions. And obviously, me spending some time with Lewis in GPs and now here, I think it's quite nice to have a fresh perspective on some different questions that open up different mindsets of the riders. After watching a bit of Formula One or MotoGP or whatever, just trying to get a bit more behind the scenes of how people think and the way that someone's going to go about it. Of course, it's hard to get someone to open up if they've got their helmet on or they're ready to go riding. So picking and choosing the time of the questions is important. Because if you go too deep right before we're going out riding, you're just going to get an answer that's sort of blowing you off. It's like, all right, no, I've got something else to focus on. And you don't want to be negatively talking about yourself or anything like that if you've got to go and ride. But yeah.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, I know. Speak of the devil. He's right there.
Well, what they're doing good is, just seeing Dark Side at the races every weekend.
All right, I'll take that.
That's my positive.
When you see criticism from the journalists, when you're having a couple weeks that aren't great, does that get to you? Does it bother you? Do you wish that we would reach out more and say, hey, what's going on? Or like how should we handle, because obviously we got to report on what we're seeing. How would you like the journalists to handle situations like that?
Yeah, I feel like if things aren't going good and they're reporting stuff and it's maybe not necessarily true, or if there is a reason behind it, I feel like that could be a better way to go about it, as far as just reaching out and seeing if there's an underlying issue. I think that, but it doesn't really bother me specifically if, I try not to take what they're reporting too serious, I guess, but just for it to be accurate for everybody else would be important.
Moto journalists, I think that we have a good group in our sport. I think that some are a little bit too close to the athletes and to the riders on a personal level. And I think sometimes that could maybe, gosh, I don't even really know how to say this, because
Maybe a little favoritism?
yeah, in a sense, or just maybe talk about stuff in a different way based on how they might think someone will react to it. That's me trying to find criticism on it. I don't really think into that very much.
I mean, yeah, I think it's all pretty good. I mean, I obviously see stuff on YouTube, Instagram, and yeah, it's all good.
What you're doing well, reporting the media. What you're doing poorly, a lot of the questions are very like, ugh.
Like this one?
This one specifically. I don't know. I feel like this one's just more of a,
Fluff.
hey, talk great about us.
No, if you
I don't
say
know.
something we could do better, then maybe we can take that in consideration.
I don't get media attention ever, so
I interview you every week. I just asked you a minute ago and you said no.
No, I'm all in on media. I'm all about it. I love the media.
As far as I like the way they're doing it now, like post-race and stuff like that. I think that's a good thing. Makes it seem a little more professional. I like that. Where you're not getting like pulled from 19 different directions. I think that's cool. Same thing with Friday. Like use this day to do exactly this kind of stuff. I think it's cool. I don't really have anything negative to say. I mean, for the most part, you guys have been friendly to me, so that's good.
Kind of getting to know media guys better.
Like on a personal level, a little bit.
Kinda.
Being comfortable?
I think it almost makes the media guys more comfortable to ask different questions. I think you should be able to ask the question that you want or need to ask, and if I don't want to answer it, I should be man enough to just say I don't want to answer that or no comment.
I feel like sometimes journalists can be too much into like the whole like wanting to know like the whole injury side, or like getting too into the business. I don't know.
Into what?
Into like their like personal business a lot.
Sure.
Or one thing I've had in the past is they'll ask questions to like corner you and like pretty much force it out of you. I don't like that, me personally. It's either like, hey, like, it's either you believe in what I'm saying or just leave it as that. That's about it for